North Carolina wants in the SEC, and they're going to do it way faster than expected. This is the bombshell of the offseason, and this is Locked On Big 12.
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
The ACC is effectively done. This is the domino that leads to Clemson, Florida State, Miami, NC State, Louisville, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, Virginia, all saying we cannot sit here and let it go on any longer. Happy breaking news, everybody. I'm Drake Toll from America's #1 Big 12 podcast, Locked On Big 12. Thank you for making this show your first listen every single day. This is huge. North Carolina, per Inside Carolina, decides it wants to go to the SEC. On3, ESPN, Inside Carolina, have picked up this story now and corroborated that the ACC exit is possibly impending and faster than we expected from North Carolina. We all assumed 2030, 2031, kind of that range, when it's $75 million to exit the conference instead of $500 million, which was that original number. We assumed that 5 years down the line from here, the Carolina schools and probably Georgia Tech and definitely Clemson and Florida State would exit the league. Now, the conversation is expedited as we are learning that the school that hired Bill Belichick as its head football coach wants to take it a degree further. When they made that move, I made the case on this show, hiring Bill Belichick was a nod to the SEC, a wave to the Big Ten, a wave to somebody to say, give us the lifeboat. We're done here. And the reason the ACC is falling apart is poor leadership. It is starting to mirror what the Pac-12 had. Now, what the Pac-12 didn't do is backfill. They didn't add Boise State or San Diego State that could have saved the conference. What the ACC has already tried to do is backfill. They added Cal, Stanford, and SMU. If you lose, let's take all of the subjectivity out of it. Whoever you're a fan of, if you're a fan of the ACC or ACC school or Big 12 school, take all of the subjectivity out of it. If you lose Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina, Georgia Tech, Miami, I mean, that list goes 5 or 6 deep, and you replace them with Stanford, Cal, and SMU, don't even consider the regional confines of that move and how bad it is for the conference. Don't only consider that those schools have really bad athletic departments. Like, oh, they're great at rowing. Yeah, but they're not bringing in revenue where you want them to bring in revenue. Don't just consider that one of those schools is paying their own way to be there, begging to be in your orphanage, and you let them in because you need the money. Don't even consider those things. Just considering the brands themselves. Did you win? Did you backfill enough? And what's even crazier is what North Carolina knows is that if they have the money, by the way, they do, to pay a larger exit fee, they could hold hands with someone else like Clemson or Florida State and be a package deal to the SEC, and there will be assorted sponsors, assorted donors, assorted folks associated directly with that conference who say, hey, we don't mind pitching in. We don't mind bringing the Jordan brand to the SEC. So what does this do to the Big 12? Cincinnati, you're going to get a new friend. Pitt is right over there. West Virginia, you're going to get an old rival. Pitt's right there. Anybody want to play Louisville? Who's in? Who's in for a trip to Louisville, Kentucky Derby? How about this? What about NC State? Maybe. I don't know. They're kind of on the line right there. Georgia Tech could get left behind. Miami is a school that's become less and less valuable as we've learned about these valuations in expansion and realignment. If you're the Big 12, if you're Brett Yormark, you see this pop up on your computer screen and you go, cool. This is going to happen faster than I thought. We didn't add Memphis because we're waiting on 2030. We're waiting on 2031. We didn't add Memphis because we're waiting on Louisville, because we're waiting on Pitt or Virginia Tech or Georgia Tech or Miami or whoever we can get. And now, if we can expedite that process, if we can make this much cleaner, smoother, earlier, great. Because the second the ACC drops below 14 teams, they are forced to backfill even further. Otherwise, ESPN drops their contract. It's a clause in there. And that's why they added SMU and Stanford, so they could have the backfill number complete, and ESPN couldn't necessarily drop them, and they've got a bit more leeway before they get to 14. currently having 17 members. Oh, problem though. Now a lot of people want to leave, and somebody actually wants to put the money where their mouth is. And it's not like the whole Florida State and Clemson thing where they toy around with it for a while. This is financially imperative. It's financially imperative for UNC, according to what they believe, that they exit the ACC and go to the SEC. Exit fees right now currently around $165 million per different reports, and are set to drop to a more manageable $75 million. But the long-term stability, being in a power conference, the money you'll make if you join the SEC right now is what they want to do. And I'm sure ESPN would rework the SEC's contract immediately, saying, hey, we see the value in having UNC there. Now, do I want the ACC to die? If it means the Big 12 can become part of a Big 3, a Power 3, it's the sacrifice that we have to make to stay alive in this. The president is calling in his own executive order to try to fix things, and all of America looks around and goes, no. It didn't really, it's just words on paper to us. That's how bad things are messed up right now in college sports. So if it takes the ACC dying for the Big 12 to live, okay. The Belichick effect. You hired Bill Belichick. Now you're a basketball blue blood. You're a valuable media market. I had no idea. Like this random Durham area, huge. Just actually really noteworthy because Charlotte's there and the SEC network, headquartered in Charlotte. Academics aside, too. You know, the SEC doesn't always need those, but those are very good. And football, though they're known for basketball, has not been the worst thing in the world at North Carolina over the course of the last 10 years. Larry Fedora was good there. Like every coach that goes there has at least one 10-win season for some reason. And Sankey has said he's content with 16, but he knows this is a business move. The SEC is not going to deny North Carolina. They're not going to deny the Jordan brand. And the Big 12 is not going to deny Louisville or Miami or Georgia Tech when that day comes, and that day is coming a lot sooner than we expected. This is it. This is it, hopefully, right? I mean, we've talked about this ad nauseum for 2 years. Do it. Someone do something. I'm begging you. I think we finally got it. I think we're finally there. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Why? Because FanDuel is exactly where I go. FanDuel is exactly where I go when I want to make a little bit of money off it. See, look how easy it is. I open the FanDuel app and I say, Shohei Ohtani home run, $20 to win $80. And thank you very much. That's what FanDuel does. It's super easy. Download the app today or go to FanDuel.com. It's very convenient. You get paid instantly too. And that's the best part to me is that I can just, I made the money. Now the money's mine. Get in on the action. Even soccer is available out there. How fun is that? And it's never been more thrilling. New to FanDuel, new customers can bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. $150 in bonus bets if that first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. FanDuel, official partner of Locked On. Please bring the Big 12 new schools from the ACC. I like shiny presents. Everyone's going to 20. The cool kids are going to 20 teams now, and the Big 12 will be the league to do it. And maybe the ACC does stay alive with Wake Forest, USF, and Memphis. Congrats to them. Rhett Lashley just said it's a Power 3. Sorry, Rhett. SMU's begging to get into the Big 12 again. This has been and always will be an emergency. Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.